All right, so we're starting off week 2. And last week, just a quick recap, we learned how arrays store data. We learned some functions to organize and reuse logic. We created them. And we learned how to work with some loops and conditionals to control the program flow. And then we also used how to use the prompt function to get real input from the user. And then we learned a very basic app structure to keep our code clean and extendable, meaning that we can add on to it. And so this week, we're going to dive in and we're going to go from working inside of the console to seeing our output in the browser. So we're going to be focused on basic dominant manipulation in this week. We're going to try to understand the connection between the HTML and a file and the JavaScript file. We're going to learn how to select elements with document.query selector. We're going to learn how to display to-dos dynamically using inner HTML. And we're going to do our best to maintain a clean code structure. We've got our data, our functions, and our app runner right now that we're working on. So here is our file. Now for me, I want to create a new folder. I'm going to call it week 2. Inside of this folder, I want to copy these. So I'm going to open these in the File Explorer. I'm going to copy these files and then head over here and I'm going to paste these files in. All right. Now we've got those files here and we can start working with them. So I want to make some changes. This is going to be week 2 JavaScript index.js. All right. And now, hello world. We've got this. This is going to be, that's week 1. We've got week 2 HTML. All right, let's add in. So HTML comments are a little different. We need to use an exclamation point. I think that's, what is it? Exclamation, and then it's 2 dots, yeah, or 2 dashes. Then we have a comment. So HTML, let's say week 2 HTML index. All right, now we've got our new files that we want to work with. So first thing that we want to do is we want to be thinking about our program. So let's close the server. Let's go live with our new file. Okay, we want to do JavaScript to do course week 2. I've got this. So now we know we've got this simple application that allows us to add to-dos, remove to-dos, show to-dos, or quit. Now, right now, if I type in add, and what do I need to do? I want to move output to the DOM, the document object model. And then so let's show that. I don't see it anywhere. Now, all of that is hiding here in the console. So show. Something's happening. Index, JavaScript. All right. So it's telling me something that I need a head tag and then I need a body tag. So let's add those to my HTML. I think we can do, this is one of those times we got to look something up. So how to add a title to a web page. Title element. So we're going to say title, and it's going to be week 2. Week 2, I'm going to say manipulate DOM. Okay. Let's restart this. Add. We want to move output to the DOM. So now we could see, I don't know what was going on before. Quit. All right. So we have our functional application again. Now we want to think about so basically we need to set up our HTML file so that it has an element that we can, so our JavaScript will allow us to locate or find some piece of the DOM. We can use IDs, we could use classes, but it allows us to search for basically an ID. And so what we could do is create an unordered list, and we could give it an ID of to-do list. Now this way we can tap into this HTML element, this HTML object, and add things to it. So traditionally we would add list items, and it would say something like update the DOM or move HTML, move output to the DOM. And if we save that, we can show let's see, add output text. So quit. So we can see this move out to the DOM. So we've got this little bullet point here. That's our to-do list that we just created. Let's give it a H1, and we'll say to-do list at JavaScript to-do list. And then here we'll have my to-dos. Okay, so this is a heading 1, and this is a heading 2. And this is our list item. And then now we can quit. Okay, now we can quit this, and we can see we've got JavaScript to-do list at my to-dos, move output to the DOM. Okay, so we're making some progress here. Now we said we want to tap into this. Oh, we need a closing tab. Oh, we got the UL down here. We don't want this here. So before we could do that and comment out the JavaScript, but that type of comment doesn't work. We have to use the dash 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 to remove our comments. We're going to save that. All right. And so now, because of Live Server, that extension, it just reloads the app every time that I save one of these files. All right. So what do we now need to do? We've got our unordered list ready. And so what we want to do is find or select. And you know what? I'm going to move this running down here to be with the app because it doesn't really make sense for it to be up here in data. Okay, so we want to find the element. So we're going to create a new variable and we're going to say let to-do list element equal so we want to first find this. So our to-do list element, we want to equal document. So that's going to be our HTML document query selector. And we're going to select our to-do list. Right? Now let's console log our to-do list element. Right? Now I didn't see a console.log. So let's say to-do list element. Where now we're seeing this to-do list element. Maybe it's because it didn't load or wasn't loaded before. But now I'm seeing I've got this element that is a container for the of the unordered list. So now I've targeted that inside of my JavaScript. I've stored that element here in this to-do list element variable. And so now we can manipulate it. So when I want to show the to-dos, I want to take my to-do and I want to create a list item and then add that list item to the element. So down here in to-dos, let's change this up a little bit. And instead of using this for loop, you're going to use a to-dos for each. And that's going to be for each element. And we're going to pass it in a function that is going to have to do and I. So the I is going to be the index and it's going to be our counter. All right. And here we want to open up this function, and we want to have a list item equal document create element, and we're creating a list item. And for each list item, we want the text content equal, and we're going to use one of our concatenation things to be I plus colon space plus the to do. Okay, that to do, so that is being, which is each one of these elements in the to-do list. All right. Now we want to take that list item and we want to append it to our to-do list element. We have a function append child, and we want to send it that element. All right. Let's see how this works. Here, we want to add a to-do. We want to move output to DOM, and we want to show. Now, unfortunately, what's happening is this is a prompt is holding up this. So in order for me to see what's happening, I have to quit. Now, it's also put output 0. So I need to make sure that I'm using I plus 1 in order to show my list of to-dos. But these are all really good next steps that we need to try to solve. So one, how can I get input from the user without using prompt? Because prompt is not allowing me to see the output in the DOM. I have to quit out of that loop before I can see anything on the screen. All right. So for the next course, see if you can solve this issue of starting with 0. And we'll see you in the next class.